It's time to attack the impossible. So, what will you do with the moments that you have left?
Great American Rugby. Rugby is life and life is great. I'm excited to share an opportunity to partner with Great American Rugby and help grow rugby in the U.S. Sponsoring Great American Rugby gives your brand exposure to a passionate rugby community, whether through logo placements, social media promotions, product giveaways, or brand collaborations. We can find the right fit for you. Here at Great American Rugby, we know that all businesses are different, so we're open to negotiating sponsorship budgets or alternative compensation that works for both of us. If you're interested, please fill out the sponsorship interest form. It'll only take a few minutes, and I'll personally reach out to discuss the next steps. Let's build something that benefits your brand while growing rugby. Thank you for your support. Let's grow rugby together. Rugby is life, and life is great. Be great.
The episode here of That's All I'm Saying. This is episode 5. I am your host, Max Stylage, your neighborhood hoop hero, baby. We want to give a special thanks to all our sponsors here. Let me get this down here. The Great American Rugby, Steelwear Athletic brand. And today is a special day. Today is a special day, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go live on IG as well as on YouTube. Now, I've been having a lot of people talking about this LeBron Jordan thing. Okay, I get it. 10 years of getting to the finals is not the ideal goal. I understand that, right? Jordan won 6 times. 3, he quit. 3 again. I understand that, right? But the point of it all is being the greatest basketball player ever, right? That's the conversation. Who's the GOAT? The greatest ever. Not on the greatest team, not having the greatest record, the greatest ever. That's the point. And in that time frame, what have you done? Now, Jordan did have the crown. He did. I'm not taking nothing away from Jordan. He had the crown. He had to get it from somebody, right? Who had it first? Kareem. You have to get it from somebody. The only thing that Jordan didn't do to solidify himself as the GOAT was to get to the 50,000 points. He has everything else. The 50,000 points is the crown jewel. That's what matters the most, because that's when you're at the top of the game. When you look at the stats in the books, yes, eye test matters, but when you look at the books, the black and white never lies. Who was at the top of the food chain for 50 years? It was Kareem. It was Kareem. The only person to ever get close is LeBron James. Now, it's tit for tat. I get it. I do. I understand. The love and the obsession for Jordan is there. I love Jordan too. Okay? Some think I don't, but I do. Okay? Jordan had a great run. A dominant run. And he dominated in his own fashion. And we marvel at it. It was wonderful. But when a new form of dominance comes, you have to acknowledge it. And by acknowledging it, you understand that the torch has been passed. Okay? The new NBA is not allowing you to stay on the same team forever. Nobody's doing that no more. The last who do it is Steph to be successful. Nobody else is going to do this. This new crop of kids is going to adopt the LeBron James way of doing things. If it's not working out with this business partner, the franchise, then we're going to leave. We're going to go where it works. We're not going to try to stay and figure it out. That's not the goal. Why waste your prime years stuck when you can go somewhere else and flourish? That's what KD did, and we killed him for it. But the thing about KD is he's smart, because the main thing that we do in high school is we try to find the best team to go play for. In college, you try to find the best team to go play for. In the NBA, you just get drafted to a team. You don't go looking for the best team. You don't do that. Everybody wants to play with a great team. It's a fact. Playing on a great team helps your greatness shine even more. That's why Kevin Durant went to the Warriors. You know? That's why LeBron James jumps and goes place to place to plant his flag and see who's going to come on this ship with me. If Jordan could do it, he would have did it too. He just so happened to have the best team where he was. You know? That's it. Now, like I said, KD was smart. He left. He went to a great team to enhance them for one purpose and one purpose only: to beat LeBron James. That's it. If it wasn't for them wanting to beat LeBron so much, you think they would have teamed up? It doesn't make any sense. Why team up if there's nobody to beat? Like, you have to have a nemesis. And the nemesis was one man. Not three. Not the three musketeers over there in the Bulls. One man. Solo. Grabs a unit and he makes it work. You don't have to build when you are the builder. Come on, man. Y'all killing me. Now, there's a story out there. Chris Mullin, I seen it today. I put it on my story. Chris Mullin said when they were juniors in college, they played against the USA basketball team or the Olympic team, something like that. But all the greats were on there because they are already in the NBA. Magic, Bird, Isaiah. He said that by far Jordan was the best player, a junior in college, playing against pros. By far, he was the best player. It's a great story. LeBron has the same exact story told by Ron Artest and Baron Davis. And who else was ever at there? He just told the same story. At 16, he's playing against prime Jordan in a pickup game. And he's untouchable. Isn't that more impressive? Isn't that the sign of a GOAT? Come on, bro. The man has been doing it since 16. He could have went to the league at 16. That could mean that the league was watered down. I could say that. That could mean that the guard play in the NBA at that particular time wasn't ready for a young sprout like LeBron James. Heck, the NBA wasn't ready for Michael Jordan when he came in the league either. That's why when they first saw him, they crowned him the greatest, because he was doing things that they've never seen. The same exact thing that we did for LeBron James when he came into the league. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. We just haven't seen this cycle this good this soon. We wanted to crown Kobe, R.I.P. Kobe. We wanted to crown Kobe. We did crown Kobe, but he's too similar to his GOAT. So you can't call Kobe the GOAT when you're too similar to the original GOAT that you're trying to be like. The GOAT has to have his own form. That's why Kareem was the GOAT first. Center, skyhook. Then Jordan, guard, fadeaway. Now LeBron, forward, power. What else do you want? It's a cycle. Every position will show their GOATness in every phase of our lives. Right now, we're on the GOAT of LeBron James, the power forward GOAT. Let's move on from Jordan, okay? Let's move on from the past. I love his shoes. But let's move on and let's go ahead and give this man his crown, because the one thing that we want to do as basketball players, the one thing that we wish, we just wish and we hope and pray is to play forever. No basketball player wants to quit. It's proven. That's why you always see players coming back when they're hurt, they're injured. It's an addiction. They can't get past it. So the fact that LeBron gets to play until he's 40, 45 if he wants to, is remarkable in its own. GOAT. I know y'all say longevity. That's part of it. That's part of it. When you look at the Greek gods, you see Zeus, right? That's Kareem. You see Hercules. That's LeBron. But you also see Achilles. It's not Kobe. It's Jordan. Cut short. He had an opportunity to do great things, and he squandered his opportunity. Why did he quit 2 times? You tell me this. Is it because of gambling? No. He quit because he could quit. He's arrogant. He's cocky. He's Jordan. He ran the world. I can quit. I can come back. I can do it again. I can quit again. That's what greatness does. He puts it in your face. But if Jordan would have stayed those 2 years, him and that team could have won 10 NBA championships. We know this. Everybody knows this. 8 at the least. But at least 10. But that's within a structured system. That's within a structured system. Players that he's been playing with for a decade plus. A coach who doesn't even have to run the plays no more because the plays run themselves. It's been proven. If Jordan would have stayed, they would have ran the table. Now, a lot of people in my comments are talking about the NBA has more money now, and they want to see other players flourish. That's why other people get those MVP trophies. I understand that. I get that. But we need to be a little bit more specific when it comes to these trophies. Because let's be honest, half of those scoring title trophies only came, or the MVP trophies only came because of scoring titles, right? That's usually the person who's scoring the most gets the MVP because you're more of the time on the best team doing your stuff. You know, that's usually how it goes. Now, I know sometimes the best team doesn't always have like Gilbert Arenas, great scorer, should have got a scoring title. Don't know if he did, don't know if he didn't. But if he didn't, he should have. Right? Great scorer, not on a winning team. Melo, great scorer, not on a winning team. Got a scoring title. Right? Didn't mix up the two. But half of the time they are. And most of the time with Jordan, he gets the nod. He gets the benefit of the doubt. You put in enough work, you get enough respect, people honor that, and they give you the nod. Why aren't we giving the nod to LeBron? Why not? It makes no sense. He's done everything. He's checked every box. And it's keep going. Now, let's be honest, you guys. Let's be honest. The Lakers are looking real good this year. The Lakers are looking good this year. This Luka acquisition might pan out. If it does, and they win a championship this year, he would have won 3 championships for 3 different franchises. 2 for 2 of them. With a total of 5. That's GOAT. That's GOAT. If he plays until 45, and the Lakers are smart in their backing with their GM with Jenny and Rob Pelinka, and they start loading up the squad, and they sneak 2 out of them, oh my goodness, that's going to be 6. Listen, Luka has already taken the team to the finals with less. His sidekicks has never been a LeBron James. Even at 40, LeBron is dangerous. If he gets these last 2 in the last hour, what can you say? What can you say? LeBron is already the GOAT. But if he does this, if he slides one this year, solidified. And the likelihood of him sliding another one, it's very strong. Last week I said that the Celtics look like they could run the table. I still slightly believe that. But I don't think it's going to be that pretty. I think Jalen and Jason is going to break up soon. It's a lot of controversy. A lot of controversy. 2 different heads at the same token. More so, I think Jalen is going to get his own team. He's going to James Harden that thing and be the man somewhere else, which is going to leave Jason by himself, which is fine. We need Jason to solidify himself and show that he can do it on his own. And once he's able to do that, I think they'll give him the nod of what he's looking for. But that being said, the Lakers can slide in. They can slide in. If you double team Luka, you got LeBron. If you double team LeBron, you got Luka. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what you're going to do. Hold on. Let me see. What else we got? Now, I was asked this question. I was asked this question earlier today. Who had the better career out of OKC? James Harden, Kevin Durant, or Russell Westbrook? Now, that was tough. Now, out of those 3, they all have an MVP. Scoring titles. Kevin Durant only has the title. Well, Russell Westbrook has the title too. Give me 1 second. 6, 8, 7. We're going to have a call here in just a second. Out of all 3 of the players, the most impact, I would say James Harden had the most impact. Hey, Justin, I'm about to get a call. Is this the phone? What's the code?
Call from
Charlie.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello, Charlie. You are on the air with That's All I'm Saying. How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. Nothing much. How you feeling?
I'm all right. Just calling in and wanna.
Of course, of course. Thank you for calling in, Charlie. Charlie, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Charlie. She is, if anybody wants to know, a former blogger for what company you was working for, Charlie?
It was my own company.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Her own blogger. Go ahead.
It's a little feedback, so it's like a delay.
No.
But I started my own blog and ran with it, back in the day.
For sure, for sure. Now, the reason why we got Charlie call in today is we're gonna have a conversation about pop culture, a couple conversations about content creation, and we might dip into the Drake and Kendrick situation from the past just a little bit.
Oh, we're definitely gonna get to that.
Not a
We
problem.
have to settle this here now.
Yeah, no, I've been waiting on this moment for a minute. We've been talking for a second about to see who actually won this. Now, if you want to start there, we can. You let me know.
I mean, no, it's whatever. I mean, I'm following your lead, but yeah, definitely, I think that's the hot. That would be the hottest topic of the evening.
Okay, so we'll say that for a little second later. So, Charlie, with you being able to have your own blog back in the day, you actually know a little bit about what's going on today's world with content creation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we can both agree that the content these days is a little bit different than it used to be. Like a couple years ago, it wasn't too much. I mean, vlogging and blogging was a little bit more. Well, blogging was a little bit more popular than vlogging. Would you say?
Blog. Yeah. So back when I was blogging, I was doing more of a journalism type of avenue opposed to video. But over the years, they've created another term for blogging, which is basically the same thing, but you're just using video opposed to writing.
Right, right. Now, what would you want? Which one would you think you would favor the most? Because personally, I think vlogging would be easier because you really got to do is just turn on the camera and just start talking, right?
Yeah, it's also more engaging, especially if the person who is blogging, their audience wants to see more of their day-to-day experiences. So yeah, that's definitely more engaging. It's easier to just, turn on the camera and go about your day, turn off the camera, edit a little clips and just upload. But I think back in the day, blogging, it was more for readers. But also, when blogging was the most popular, a lot of social media platforms hadn't quite developed yet.
No, that is true.
For the vlogging experience.
No, that's true. That's true. They were still catching up. But, I ain't gonna lie. My mother used to tell me I should write stuff down a long time ago. Nobody had the patience for writing stuff down. I probably would have videotaped it back then, maybe. But,
yeah,
blogging.
And that's probably why it was only a few popular blogging sites that kind of took off, because it takes a lot of work to, research. I mean, it's a process to blogging more than it is to just blogging. So to write your notes down, do your research, and then put it on paper and type it out, yeah, that's a little more involved than just. So I guess you could say blogging is the easier way, most definitely. But we didn't have I don't know, that feature quite yet. At least I don't remember. Instagram was coming out around the time that I was more prevalent in blogging. But it hadn't even had the video feature then yet either. You just post photos.
No, true, true. Yeah, things seemed like it was going in slow motion compared to now, right?
Yeah, and I mean, YouTube was around. But I don't know if people were blogging then. They were just posting their content or whatever, those little clips that they would post every now and then.
Yeah, there was no real intention back then. Nowadays, your intentions are different, But
right, and so that's the beauty of the growth of content creation and being an influencer. Like over the years, different features have developed throughout all of these different platforms where it does make it easier to create content. But either way, all of it takes a lot of work
Nah,
to
true,
get
true,
to where you want.
true. That is true. It's all baby steps. It's all baby steps. So, um, outside of that, what else will we have on the plate? Let me see. Um, oh yeah, because we also talked about how all these new platforms, these like the Shade Room and everything, started as blog sites, right?
So yeah,
Right. And everybody just,
yeah, so,
eh,
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, everybody evolves to the new age with the videos and the Instagram and the Twitter and the vlogging, because I mean everybody just wants to see content. That's content is king right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, people would be at work, and it's easy to just like connect to that platform and see what the latest juice is, the hottest topic. But yeah, back in the day, like I was saying, when I was blogging, and I'm talking about like 2010, 11, 12, even 13. I think that's when the blogging was like the most biggest.
Right.
Yeah, all of those major platforms, the Shade Room, Jasmine Brand, all of those, they were just strictly online on their website. And then once Instagram became more popular and Twitter, it was easier to just kind of post little snippets of the juice and the gossip. And even though I was not a gossip blog, but I was out there enough to where I could attend events. I was recognized as a blogger, as a prevalent, sourceable, credible site. But that was when it was the I guess the most popular for blogging.
Right. That's when it was at its
And
peak.
then and then after that, Instagram developed more features, and all the other sites developed more features where you could kind of expand with developing or producing the latest tea.
True, true, true. Now, with that being said, all the gossip and all the tea has been growing and building, right? And from moving from blogs to vlogs, now to Instagram to Twitter, now Facebook and everything else. So let's get into the Drake and Kendrick. I know it's old. And I know you picked a side earlier. Are you still on that
Well,
side?
I am standing my ground, and I'm going to give you the reasons why I'm standing my ground. And yes,
who are
as
you
a
with? Hold
preface,
on. Who are you with, Charlie? Who are you?
okay, you want me to start out there?
Yeah, go ahead. Pick your side.
Okay, well, yes, K dot all the way. K dot is never going to change. I don't care how you twist it, turn it, loop it, whatever. It's never going to change. But I will preface, I'm not going to be as biased just because I'm a fan of Kendrick Lamar. It's just that I'm just going to be stating the facts.
Okay.
And the facts will tell itself.
Okay. What's the fact?
That's just a disclaimer. So whatever we discuss, I'm gonna follow up with a fact, and I'll come to you at the end of the night. K Dot's still gonna be on top.
He's not on the top right now. That's the thing.
Yes.
He's not, because this is what happens with Kendrick. He does something good, and then he goes to sleep. He comes back, does something good again, and then goes to sleep. You can't be on top and go to sleep. You can't.
Okay, well, listen. All right, like I said, everything that you state, I'm going to have something for it. So the reason behind that is Kendrick Lamar, first of all, they are both great artists in their own way, okay? And I've said this to you plenty of times. They are both extremely successful, wonderful artists in their own way. However, Kendrick Lamar is a true artist. He is an original. He writes his own stuff. He develops all of the creativity behind his work. And for a true artist to be in that way and to develop such good creation and big projects, that will land him as successful as he is, you have to take those moments of pauses to regenerate. You have to rejuvenate all of that skill.
No.
You will produce something so powerful, so rewarding, and then you have to decompress and rejuvenate. So that is what I think you're referring to, and that's what any artist.
Let me.
If they are true artists, that's what causes
Charlie,
that.
I hear you. I respect that opinion. I respect that opinion.
Yeah.
What I want to say first is Drake writes his own stuff. Everybody.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does. He doesn't write everything.
No.
He doesn't write everything. Everybody has a reference. Everybody has references. Kendrick has a reference. I guarantee you, everything that he says is not from his brain. He might change it to make it his own, but everything that he says is not from his mind. I promise you that, because you can't. It's just impossible, because your thought process is only one way. Somebody else's thought process is a different way. And if y'all bring them together, you're going to have a great idea.
Well, yeah, that's what you call a team.
Exactly. So Drake has a team. So does Kendrick. So that's one.
A team of writers.
That's one. Hold on. Two, a true artist doesn't always have to take his sweet time to come out with art. If you pay attention, Michael Jackson is a true artist, right? He came out with hit after hit after hit. You ain't wait too long, right? You ain't have to wait 3 or 4 years for him to come out with another album. He came with it every time. That's the epitome. Now, if Kendrick is taking 2, 3, 4, 5 years to come out with an album because he thinks he needs to take his time and go through some things, that's fine. That's cool. That's creativity. I respect it. But you're not on the top. The top person, like yourself, you have to be repetitive. You have to stay in the groove. You can only be good while you're in it. If you stop, you get lazy and you get slow, right?
Yeah,
So-
I'm hearing you.
so-
I am totally hearing you.
So, to stay in the groove, Charlie, you got to keep it
Oh.
moving. You got to keep it moving.
Okay, well, let me tell you this.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you this. All right, so ain't no
Don't do that, Rita.
universities studying Drake, okay?
What?
There, no literature professors are putting out syllabi
Nah, Rita. You
to
crazy.
study Drake and his work and his art form, or whatever you want to call it. And I am quotation marks art form. But yes, several universities are studying Kendrick Lamar's work as an actual course. Okay, he's actually going to these places as well and delivering
Speeches.
in these classes.
Man,
and
that don't mean nothing. That
and
means
and
nothing.
the whole Pulitzer Prize.
That
the whole
means
Pulitzer Prize.
he's
you
a
know,
great
He's the only
wordsmith.
rapper.
He's a great
You gonna argue
wordsmith.
with all night.
Charlie, that's all he. I mean, listen, KRS-One is a great wordsmith. He's better than Kendrick. He ain't got no Pulitzer Prize. All these poets that Kendrick is, he's a poet, right? And he's, like he said,
Yeah, he is.
He's reincarnated Pac. Pac is a better poet. It's just poetry that finally gets solidified because you have to do it enough times for people to get used to it. Now, Kendrick is taking the flowers for it, but, I mean, let's be honest. You can study KRS's One lyrics and get the same effect that you get with Kendrick's. You can dissect Rakim's lyrics and get the same message. He ain't doing nothing different. All we want to do is have great music. If it means something, it means something. If it don't, it don't. Now, I'll say this, Charlie.
Okay, but
You know-
you're nothing you're saying is wrong. Nothing you're saying is wrong at all. I'm just telling you, and honestly, we probably should have started this conversation on how this even became a thing
We can
between the Drake and, because a lot of people don't really know how this even started, you know, to be honest. Drake put Kendrick on at some point in the earlier, back in 2011.
Right.
And people just don't know really the story behind how all of this came into fruition to today.
Right.
Because it goes deep. It is very deep. As far as then Kendrick being studied in colleges and universities, that's a whole nother, that's kind of separate to what the whole beef is about. I was just implying that he is an artist, and it does take great preparation and time and effort and creativity to develop something as powerful as projects that he puts out. And because of the powerful success that he has in all of his projects, it's being studied. So that's all I was saying. But as far as in the beat itself, people don't really know why we're here.
Right. I think the genesis of it started as a friendship. Maybe somebody looking out for one another. Right? I have an opportunity. I'm gonna bring you on to give you an opportunity so you can actually progress. But it's even before that. It's before that. They were both writers for Dr. Dre before they got on. So being in the same writing room with Dr. Dre, both of them, means that they're both writers at the same level. Would you agree?
No.
What? How? They're in the same writing room with Dr.
Drake. If I'm being honest, Drake was probably just a fly on the wall.
Wow. That's
he probably
tough.
was invited. He was probably invited to the creative session and didn't have anything to contribute.
Okay, that's an opinion. But let's say, for instance, that
it's
you're
an
wrong.
Opinion, yeah.
Let's just say you're wrong. Okay, let's say they were both there for the same reasons, which makes more sense. Would you agree? I think them both being there with Dr. Dre, because this is the story that's being told. They were both writers in the writing room, learning from Dr. Dre, or somewhat.
Okay. All right. So to answer your question, I believe, yes, if they were both there, I believe, and this is the reason why Drake paid that out in the beginning. Like Drake was on the scene well before Kendrick Lamar was. Kendrick Lamar definitely did start off as a writer. He was just closed off. People heard about him. He got put on by Drake, yes, for sure. Drake took him on tour. They did a couple features together. So, yeah, it does make sense for them to be in a room together, but that doesn't mean, and there's no facts about this, but it makes sense for Drake to be in the room with K-Dot. But him contributing, I just don't believe that, not so much.
That's tough. That is tough, Charlie. Only reason is because K-Dot was never the man. J-Rock was the man, right? J-Rock was the guy that their label was putting on. Kendrick was like the sideshow, right? He had a gift, yes, but he wasn't the star. He goes to this opportunity because obviously California, Compton is all close, and whoever's the new hottest guy coming up, I'm sure Dr. J wants to be around. But also there was a kid floating around from Canada sparking up a couple conversations, and they want to know who he was as well. I'm telling you, they both was in the room writing with Dr. Dre. And who spurred...
Okay, but what I'm saying is the kid from Canada didn't have much he probably was just in there for the limelight. He was not there to create art.
It's hard to believe.
He was just there because he could help out in some shape or form, but as far as in the creativity of whatever they were writing or composing or producing or whatever, I'm pretty sure, and this is still an opinion, this is not a fact, but I'm pretty sure Drake was not there to actually contribute to the actual project itself.
Well, it's hard to believe that. It definitely is hard to believe that.
Okay, all right, let's move on. We got to move on.
Okay, we're going to move on. And we're going in chronicle order. Okay, so they're both there. Boom. Somebody pops off first.
And what year was this?
But when they were in the room?
That's it.
So,
Yes, with Dr. Dre.
so let's say Drake popped off. Let's look. I think he popped off in like '07, right?
Okay, so yeah, these are kids. Yeah.
Whatever, '07 he popped off, and then so it had to be before that, '05, '04, something like that. Okay, let's just say that, right? So somebody pops off faster than one. Let's be honest, we know who that was. Goes to Young Money, does his thing, and while he's there, on his third album, I think, Take Care. What's his
Take Care? That was the album.
Yes, Take Care was either his second album, right? Which is,
I'm not sure, but it's the one that really did the best right in the beginning.
Right. He had the Grammy nomination mixtape, then he had his first album, and then he had Take Care, which I believe he got a Grammy.
On that interlude.
And I believe he got a Grammy for that as well. And he brought Kendrick on in that album,
right,
and then took him on tour.
Right.
Now the story was that they didn't want Kendrick to come on tour. They didn't want him. But he vouched for him.
Where you getting your sources from?
My sources are coming from these Instagram videos. From other people saying it. I'm quoting what they said.
Who's Instagram?
See, you're not in the algorithm, Charlie. You're not in
the algorithm. Obviously.
I'm gonna start sending you these videos so you can see it as well. So the story the story was told that they didn't want him to come on, but he vouched for him to come on tour. And that's when you see the video of Kendrick Lamar saying, I appreciate Drake for letting me come on this tour for the big homie, yada, 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 and blah, 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 early on,
I do remember seeing something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But not that he wasn't, like, they didn't really want him on there. The story that I heard in all the videos that I watched was that Drake really vouched for ASAP and Kendrick to be on that tour.
Correct.
Because his team, his management team, wanted an R&B artist, but he vouched for a rapper.
Correct.
And ASAP and Kendrick were the ones that he wanted so much on that tour that he really fought for it.
So we watched the same video.
That's the story that I got.
Yeah, we watched the same video. I said the same thing. They didn't want him on the tour. He vouched for him. They put him on. Same thing.
So, no, the way you worded it, though, you made it seem like Drake didn't want him on the tour.
No, not Drake.
You didn't say. You need to clarify. You need to clarify who you're talking about.
No, I said they, meaning his management or whoever. Not Drake, because Drake put him on.
Okay, yeah. All right. So we're on the same page.
Right.
Okay.
So then we're gonna fast forward a little bit. In the years of then until let's say now, there's been some controversy in hidden messages, lyrics being told, hit songs made about one another, and a lot of pettiness been going on. So this has actually been coming out for a while. This has been coming to a head for a long time, and finally it exploded to the point where
make sure hold on.
Okay.
Before you continue, make sure you state who was doing the subliminals.
Both of them. Hold on. One of his hit songs is called.
Are you sure?
One of his hit songs is called "Be Humble." He's talking directly about Drake.
He is not.
Yes, he is. That's the whole point of the song. Be humble, because Drake was on top, and he was telling Drake to relax, be on top, and be humble.
Okay, but I'm talking about the little small. It seems like after I don't know what happened after the whole fucking problems, ASAP Drake Kendrick song with 2 Chainz. Something happened after that, and that was the last time that they had a record together. Something happened, and ever since then, Drake withdrew in very secretive, hidden lyrics within all of his songs, like sporadically.
Yep.
Now, if Be Humble is centered around Drake, cool. But Drake was coming for him just little stuff. And we're going to discuss it later in a song that people can relate to today.
No,
because he calls that out.
For sure, for sure. I believe they both been poking the bear. They both been saying subliminal things with throughout the years. And again, this is all coming to a head just of late. Now, I don't know who started this war. I don't know who started the war.
Drake.
Nah, it can't be.
Yes.
It can't
Drake.
be.
Listen, okay. Drake has started every single thing with everybody. Okay. The thing is, Drake has connected with all of these artists over the years. Okay, but from we can only look out. We can only see like just what they produce, what they put out, or whatever. But on the inside, the people don't really care for him for real. Okay. But Drake has always started his beef. He has always started his own beef with everybody. And at some point, people shoot back at him so critically because they know stuff about him.
Charlie, you can't bite the hand that feeds you.
He always starts his own beef.
You can't bite the hand that feeds you. You cannot, Charlie.
Well, fuck that. No.
You can't. You can't. It's the rule. It's the rule of nature. It's the rule of nature. If I'm feeding you, if I'm putting you on, if I made you who you are and made you more money, you can't just.
But that's the whole point. The inside. We don't know the inside. We don't know the inside of the rap game. He's doing things to these people that like, hey, I don't care if you put me on or not. I got shit on you. And if you want to come for me, I'm coming for you harder. And every single time he does that, people put out this mega information on him. That's how we learned about his fucking son. From Pusha T. He came for Pusha T. Pusha T is trying to marry his bride. Ain't bothering nobody. Okay, we ain't got there yet. But yes, Drake starts his own shit. I'm sorry.
He is not starting. I believe that there's a narrative on him that the man is weak, like he's shiesty.
Yes, and sensitive. That's the real word.
I can agree. He probably is sensitive. I can agree to that. But I can surely say this: sensitive people usually don't start things.
Okay.
I'm just saying they just they're sensitive. But I will say this: the man is clever enough to put him in songs, but he don't title him towards people. The only song that he would say that I would say was towards a lot of people was No Friends in the industry. And he didn't say no names, but that's clear as day. Ain't no friends in the industry. And you can see that to him today.
Well, okay. Next.
Okay, so we're moving on. Now, the beef has been going on for some years.
As we continue, you will realize that Drake is the common denominator in all of this, okay? You will realize that he's the common denominator in all of the rap beef.
The only common denominator is that he was number one the whole time. If he was not number one, all this stuff would not matter. But if you're at the top of the food chain and you're buying people's contracts and you're buying companies and you're buying, what's it called? The rights to their music, of course they're going to be upset. This is what Michael Jackson did to the Beatles, and they were upset when he bought their catalog. The same thing Drake's doing. He's buying people's catalogs, and he's owning them. They don't want that. But they can't help it because the man is a billionaire. Now, let's keep it moving. He's been going. They've been having beefs, right? There's been problems. And then Drake and J. Cole want to come out with a song called Third Person Shooter. Right?
No, listen, you cannot jump to that one.
How not? Where we at? That was the start of everything. That's the reason why you think
what started everything is Big Sean's Control.
Which was what?
Big Sean's Control record.
Oh, that's what you want to say.
That's the one that started everything.
There was already stuff going on.
Because basically, that on that record in particular, Kay died on his, because that was with Jay Electronica and Big Sean. That was Big Sean's record, but Jay Electronica was on it as well. Mm-hmm. On Kendrick Lamar's verse in particular, he called out everybody in the industry that he's worked with. He even calls out Big Sean and Jay in that same record and said that he was coming for the crown. In so many words, he was coming for the crown. That is what started this off.
Who had the crown at the time?
No, I mean, probably Drake. I'm not sure, but he called out a host of people. He called out everybody. You have to go back and listen to that record. He called out so many people in that song, but he is saying, I'm coming for the crown. But that's not a lyric, but in so many words in his verse, he said, I'm coming for y'all.
Yeah, so what?
Also indicating that I love y'all, but this is business for me. This is, I have not shown my potential quite yet, but I'm coming.
Okay. So he's like the little engine that could.
Oh, God.
He coming up the mountain because Drake is already at the top. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, and so Drake took offense to that one. Drake took offense to that one, okay?
He took a shot.
So, yeah, yep.
Listen.
Now you can continue.
If you're at the top of the mountain, Charlie, if somebody's trying to come up there, ain't you going to kick a couple rocks down there to see if they're going to make it through?
But that's what makes it fun. It's a competition. It's business, like he said. And Drake he's too sensitive for it. He's too sensitive for it, and that makes it lame. It makes it weak. It just makes it like not fun. Like if you're not going to just like have fun with it, then get the fuck on.
Nah, see you got it backwards. You got it backwards because if I'm at the top and I hear a little sprout talking about he want to come for me, come on up. Let's see if you can handle it. Come on up. And this is what he did. He actually came up to the top for a second. And we just saw that. So we're going to keep it moving. The control verse, Kendrick said he's coming for the top.
Well, listen, but we're not at first person shooter yet still.
Explain.
So after that one, after Control, Drake puts out Duppy Freestyle. Duppy's Freestyle that targets Pusha T.
Okay.
Drake calls out Pusha T, fiance at the time, calls out full name, and Pusha T comes back with the story of Adonis, and that's how we found out about his son in 2018. Remember?
Yes, but before that, the whole reason why Pusha T was even involved is because Drake and Kanye was at odds. And why was Drake?
I'm just saying.
It was the Good Music crew. It was Kanye talking smack about Drake to his boys because there's a story out there that Drake had Kanye come out to help him with some music or whatnot, right? They was doing music, or Kanye had Drake come out to help him with some music. He was out there for like a week, did something, played him to the left somehow. I can't remember everything, but he felt some type of way after that. They had some type of issue because Kanye was like, I fool with you, but I'm really fooling with them. Excuse me. He's really fooling with them, which means like good music. And he was with Pusha T. So then Drake said something about Kanye. Kanye didn't say nothing. Pusha T responded, and that's where you got the conflict between them two. So
right, but right. The thing is though, and this just goes back to what I said earlier, is that when he does take his shots, regardless on how it starts off, when he takes his shots, people come harder because they have so much stuff on him. Right. Anytime he comes at people, regardless of how it comes about, they coming back a little harder and they are showing their ass. They saying like, it's no filter whatsoever because we would have never known about Adonis.
But how do you
if he didn't come for Pusha T?
How do you think Pusha T knew about Adonis?
That's what I'm saying. That's the industry secret.
No. Drake told Kanye, and Kanye told Pusha T.
Okay, it doesn't matter how anyone was told. I'm just saying when they are attacked by Drake, they are coming harder.
No, you're missing the point, Charlie. You're missing the point.
No, it don't matter who told who.
Yes, it do, because him and Kanye were supposed to be friends at the time. That was the thing.
No, No, the main thing is him putting that out to the world.
No, the main thing is I'm telling my friend a secret, not even a secret, a personal information, and my friend tells somebody else, and then me and that other person get into it, and then he uses it as ammo. That's a stab in the back.
Well, we here now. So that was in 2018.
so
now we're at first person shooter. Come on.
Okay, now we're at first person shooter. And the song was actually a compliment. It was a compliment. It was saying that the three best.
Yeah, it was. I agree on that. I do agree on that. Yes.
There was no shots fired, and Kendrick took it as a personal attack and like it was a threat or something that he wasn't named number one or whatever. He saw this as an opportunity. He mentioned him in the song, which is an open door opportunity for me to say something back to you. Now, he could have said something back as, yeah, we are the big three, but I'm number one or something like that. But he said, no, F the big three. It's just big me. Right?
And honestly, I totally agree. I totally agree on everything you're saying right now. And honestly, I think this is some internal stuff that we don't know about. But at the same time, because of that song by Control with Big Sean, I think that he basically warned the people.
Yeah, that he was coming for the spot. But he was never that guy.
And that's just a follow-up. That's just a follow-up verse. That's following up.
Okay, he following up, right? He shot the shot and he followed up.
I'm standing 10 toes on what I said on that verse. Here I go. I'm rolling.
For sure. But it was a misfire because he took a shot that never needed to be taken. And then I also think this, Charlie. I also think that this was kind of planned because the industry didn't want Drake to be on top because he was renegotiating his contract. And if he already got $500 million his last contract, and he made more streams and more money within the contract of the part of him renegotiating, it's going to be way more than $500 million, right? So the only way to not give him the money that he really deserves is to discredit him and knock him off of his pedestal, because if he's really number one while he's renegotiating, he has all the leverage. So what's better in your renegotiation than knocking somebody off of their pedestal, so then you can say, well, you're not as hot as you think you are. We're going to give you this amount of money because somebody else has the number one spot. Now, that's where Kendrick came into play. I think it went left, and my man told me this. Shout out to Rico. He told me that it went left because them two already had beef. And it got personal. That's why you saw J. Cole jump in and jump out like a double dutch.
That is exactly what I've been saying this whole time. We don't know about the beef that they had. Like, yeah, they had some beef, but I think it's deeper. We only know what they put out.
Of course.
As the world, as listeners, okay?
Of course.
Yes, I do think that it goes deeper internally in the industry. It's some stuff going on. They have internal beef that we don't know about. And so, yeah, I think that's when the shots are taken like they're taken.
Yeah. And then it backfired. Because if you want to be honest,
backfired.
It backfired.
So we get music.
It backfired. It actually worked both ways because Kendrick got the popularity that he wanted. He was actually on top for a few months like he wanted. He just can't sustain it because he didn't deserve it. No disrespect, but he didn't deserve it. Like, he got it off of a beef, which a beef doesn't last forever. A beef only lasts for a short period of time. And once that beef goes away, you need to sustain that hotness. And your music is supposed to do that for you, and his music did not. So that's why.
And also, I mean, even. With the whole first-person shooter, yeah, I agree with. I felt like they were trying to set it up as like not a setup, but like, yeah, we are just a big three. We came in at our prime. We're doing well. And yeah, Kendrick was on his own thing. But I really feel like I said, it's some internal stuff behind that. Sure. And so when he said, fuck the big three, it's just me, I felt like that was also like a foreshadowing to all of this. Even the video itself,
Right.
The video itself with the whole Super Bowl content, like
If you pay
like
attention,
it's like a precursor,
yeah,
foreshadowing of the events of what's happening now, or what happened, him being at the Super Bowl this year. So
it's
it's
I know
kind of very artistic.
it's very artistic.
But why did Dre have to come from Metro?
Now that's just a sidebar.
Why did Drake have to come?
That's a side pellet. The only reason why Drake and Metro had the little issue, from what I was told and what I heard, excuse me, is that Drake supposedly wanted a beat or some music from Metro. Somebody passed in his family, and Drake wasn't as sensitive as he should have been towards the time frame of why he didn't send the music over in the manner he did. And I guess Metro took it as an offense, and they had words. So that's what I heard.
Okay.
Who knows? I don't know.
All right. Well, I mean, he didn't have to say it like that in his song "Push Ups," but okay. So why do you think? Why? Because I mean, he said Metro set your whole ass up and make some beats. Some drums.
Yeah, make some drums. Yeah, but see, Metro did that though. Drake gave him an alley-oop.
Oh.
And then Metro did it right after and sold the hell out them drums, that beat. The
BBL Drizzy.
Yeah, the BBL Drizzy. I mean, listen, if it wasn't for Drake, none of these niggas was going to get the money that they got. You know this, right?
Anyway, why do you think J. Cole apologized?
Huh?
Deleted his song and apologized. Why do you think? Like, for real. Like, because I really always thought that they were, like, the closest after Crew. They could relate a little better. But why do you think I'm talking about J. Cole. Why do you think that he apologized after he put out his little diss?
Because you have to commit.
What was it called? He took it down and he apologized.
Because you have to commit to so when it comes.
And why didn't he want to commit?
Because
he knew that K-Dot would rip it.
No. He didn't want to commit because you have to turn on a switch and not care what you say. He cares about what he says.
I'm a J. Cole fan.
J. Cole cares about what he says. Kendrick don't care about Drake. So he gonna say what he wants. Like when he said that Drake had a hidden child and Drake don't have no more kids, right? He just gonna put out false narratives just so he can make a song, just like the pedophile portion.
How you know?
Just like Adonis came out.
I thought we should talk about that. How you know Drake?
Adonis came out, right? So why wouldn't the other kid come out if she or he was mentioned? Ain't no clause. I mean, listen.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. That is not how it works.
So then why the boy come out?
With these industry folks, if they want to keep a child a secret at all costs, it's gonna be a secret.
Jay-Z got a kid. We all know who the boy is. It's not a secret. Listen, if you want to be seen and known, they gonna know.
No, you cannot compare this to any other person's situation.
Yes, you can, Charlie. But listen, Charlie, we can talk about this another time because our time has ran. Just know that Drake.
It's such a delay.
Yes. Okay, we got another 5-7 minutes. Okay, so let's say this. Okay, Charlie.
It's a delay.
Can you hear me? Well, Charlie, know this. Okay, it is a delay. So know this, okay? We got about 5 minutes, and I'm going to hit you with this fire.
Hello?
Drake won the beef, okay? Drake has a platinum song after the beef. Not talking about nobody in the beef. He doesn't even worry about the beef. The man is on top again. So
we didn't even get on the beef part.
I know. But just know that you can call back anytime. The number is 515-599-1687. And if anybody's watching on here on Instagram.
Nope, I'm not calling back about this. No.
Because you lost. That's why. That's what happens.
I'm not
Everybody
calling
watching
back
on
about this
Instagram,
again.
you can call in at
Drake
515
lost the beat when he put out the hard
599
part 6.
What? Oh, here you go. Nah, I'm not going for it. I'm not. The man is the #1 artist in the world
He
again.
lost the beat.
Nah. Charlie, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, for the white folks. But you know who? Oh, my God.
Hey, we'll talk to you later, Charlie.
Yes, you stay being a Drake fan, okay?
For sure.
It looks good on you.
Light skins gotta stick together. See ya. Gotta stick together. Now, everybody on the IG listen, I appreciate y'all. The lies the entire Super Bowl stadium called him a because it's a catchy line, Rita. It's a catchy phrase. Everybody wants to call somebody a pedophile. It's fine, but we know it's not true. Nobody has came out and said he was a petty, okay? And he didn't call him a pedophile. What he called was the whole group of them being pedophiles. So it wasn't directed strictly at Drake. So let's do that. And plus, no, it's not true. It's not true. Plus, Kendrick had bots playing his song, so that's why he got the Grammy. It's all fake. It's all fake. Millie Bobby, she ain't, listen. I don't think that's true. But if it is true, Elvis Presley did it already. Wasn't he at the top of the game? What can he say? Everybody got skeletons. R. Kelly, he took the L for everybody. So now it's fine, I guess. But either way it goes, Drake is still #1. All right. Last thing but true thing. LeBron is the GOAT. If you're watching on here, Coach, LeBron, 100%. I'll talk to y'all later. Let me go and get this music playing. We're going to play Honeyman on the way out of here.
You know you want me, baby. You know I want you too. Cause I'm
Abasi Still, my bad. Honeyman.
Take one taste of me.
Sales is not canceled. You still going to play him at the house. The house reunion. The family reunion. I know